dark is calling in the absence of light. There's nothing left to breathe. The curse is moving, and there's still fear. It's so silent, I can't hear you breathe. Am I dreaming? And am I still alive? This is what you call hell. It didn't help to drink your blood. I was shattered deep inside. So I bleed, I bleed. Society. there's nothing left to pray. Still forgotten, still beloved, no more dreams. Angel wings, a devil's heart in you.
And now I welcome you to another personal assessment about the 8th figure release of this figure series. 08 Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series Tamashii Webshop Collector's Exclusive Figure Black Agumon, Black War Greymon or Digivolving-Spirits-Series 08 Black Agumon, Black War Greymon. Since Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series is the original Japanese name, I will continue to use it more often than our name. Also here again, while judging this figure, I will going back to official statements and my personal prejudged assumptions and statements that I made about in my update videos. Bandai Tamashii Nations and the creators say themselves officially that with this figure series they strive to be the ultimate transformable Digimon figure series for adult collectors. However, these statements are not so important here because you have an old transformable figure to compare, but the old one is just a repaint of the normal Agumon War Greymon, like this new one is a repaint of the normal Agumon War Greymon. And since Chou-Shinka-Tamashii Black Agumon Black War Greymon is in quote marks just a repaint of the normal Chou-Shinka-Tamashii Agumon War Greymon, I will try to keep this assessment rather short because the differences here only relate to the colors, paintwork, color design and the molding colors of the plastic. Well then, let's start with the assessment and a few general facts. Black War Greymon was a surprise reveal as the 8th figure, going from announced and shown for the first time to pre-orders being up within a week. Well, they just had to take the molds from the normal figure and had to only mold the parts from materials of different colors and had to color them with different color. And I already said in my update video that it is actually not so surprising for these reasons that they also released Black War Greymon as a Digivolving-Spirits figure because of almost every normal War Greymon figure that Bandai ever made, they made a black repaint version of it too. Which is of course also suitable for Bandai to be able to produce and sell a completely new figure from existing molds at low cost in order to increase profit. So it was less surprising from this point of view. So the question was not does it will happen, but when it would happen. Yes, and then it was about a time. Well, Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series 08 Black Agumon Black War Greymon was released in March 2019 in Japan as the last figure of the series in 2019 so far until 2020. It was also the first time of this figure series that it was announced in the official update as a Tamashii Collector's Webshop exclusive item. However, it was announced in the update with the same suggested retail price by Bandai as the normal Agumon War Greymon figure back then, and that was about under $60 US. What I found very positive for a Tamashii Collector's Webshop exclusive figure. I don't know about the prices of other shops, but at the Nippon Yasan shop they offered him for about that price. However, I did not pre-order Black Agumon Black War Greymon immediately because I was not quite sure if I would buy this figure because of being only a repaint figure. However, I decided to buy it because I don't have either the normal version of the old figure nor I have Black War Greymon. So I made the buy decision and the price was still about it was offered before, maybe about a bit more because I waited longer. But at least I bought this 8th Chou-Shinka-Tamashii figure at the Nippon Yasan shop again under choosing the Transy logistic shipping service for Europe, and then I got delivered the figure to my door after a reasonable waiting time again. And now it was time again, and I held this black Agumon Black War Greymon repaint of the normal version in my hands, and all my thoughts that I have and had since the first pictures and the update up to now, I will also include in this assessment here again. Though the whole thing with a repaint figure is now, just let me put it this way, not as surprising, and everything is also not as exciting and as it was in contrary with the normal version or a completely new figure, because the differences here actually only refer to the coloring, like I said. However, I have to anticipate and say something ahead, even if the hype for Black Agumon Black War Greymon was not as big for me as it was in contrary for the other figures. It is still a cool figure, and despite the fact that it's just a repaint, there is something about the dark color design that makes it a unique figure. And the same opinion can be heard from many other people who also bought the figure, and you can read this in forums as well. In addition, I have to correct the following false statement from myself here now, which I mentioned in the review video of the normal Agumon War Greymon. I said in this video that I had paused the Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series or Digivolving-Spirits-Series, unfortunately, for the whole of 2019 until now back then. But the statement with the entire year 2019 was wrong, because as I mentioned earlier, Black Agumon Black War Greymon got released in March 2019. So this figure was the last one. So after this release in March 2019, it was paused for the first time until now. And please excuse me for this wrong information right in the first video. But about the future of the Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series figures, I will come back later on. But now, at first and foremost, and like you know it, a bit about the rookie form, Black Agumon. Because these are the same molds of the normal Agumon, Black Agumon only differs in the colors from the normal Agumon. However, since the skin color for both Evo forms is and remains black, including Black Agumon's black body parts, which then becoming Black War Greymon's black armor parts for the most part. That is why there is less color kibble on Black Agumon of Black War Greymon remaining than it is in contrary with the normal Agumon. Here it is mainly just the folded in bladed Dramon killers, the components from the insides of the Black War Greymon's forearms and hands, which are shimmering through, and the folded back spikes on the shoulder armor, including the shoulder armor itself, which has the somewhat wrong shape and features for Black Agumon's shoulders, because like on the normal one, it is the shoulder armoring of the higher Evo forms. Otherwise, the new figure in Black Agumon's form of course also looks better proportioned than its old black version, which is logical because here it are the molds of the new figure. Another difference in the coloring between the two figures in Black Agumon's form is that I luckily painted the eyes green on the new Black Agumon, which is also accurate and also corresponds to his original character design. On the old version of Black Agumon, as you can see, the eyes are painted yellow, which is wrong and was a total color failure. What I find great about Black Agumon is that despite the fact that he is black, though the black surrounding line of his eyes still standing out a bit because it got painted with kinda more glossy black, and the rest of the body is molded out of rather matte black plastic. This eye surrounding line is also glossy black on the normal Agumon, but hey, it is yellow-orange, and that it still stands out on the completely black one. That's the point I mean, and what I think is really great. Somehow it also seems to me like there are two different green color tones in the eyes between the two Agumon, but that is probably wrong and only because of the two different skin colors. And probably the eyes of the two have the same green color tones. What I also particularly like, and where they have really made some effort to set a different color accent compared to the normal Agumon, is the color of the plastic of his hand and foot claws, which got molded from a more light grey plastic for black Agumon, while the claws of the normal Agumon are white. So I think these light grey color for the claws are super for black Agumon, and that they did not took the easy way and not use the same white colored claws from the normal Agumon just also for black Agumon, because the slightly darker color tone of the claws matches the rest of the black skin color very well. I will not go into detail about the articulation here again, since it is a repaint and black Agumon has the same articulation as the normal Agumon has, and I explained this in detail in the review video about Agumon War Greymon, except that the repaint also is able to hold the set poses nicely and very well, because also black Agumon also has those same very nice tight joints. Let us getting down to the transformation. According to the instructions, black Agumon can be warp digivolved into his impressive mega form Black War Greymon in roughly 18 transformation steps, just like the normal version, since the transformation system is of course identical to this, because it is only a repaint. Also on the black version everything is very stiff and is pretty tight, and you should do something carefully as with the normal one, especially the first time, that you don't break any packs and slots. This counts especially for the connecting packs and slots of black Agumon's entire side sections, that becoming black War Greymon side skirt shields, and when you open these sections for transformation to black War Greymon, because this is very tightly connected, like you can see. These 4 molded on packs on the side sections and the molded on slots on the other surrounding parts, how you can see on these parts. So be very careful and patient when you open these sections, and also make sure that everything is properly aligned again for the back transformation, as I said in the review video about the normal version. In my update video about black Agumon, black War Greymon, I also said that it looks like black Agumon's skin color tone is more kinda matte black, and the real skin body parts of black War Greymon are rather molded from a more shiny black plastic, and so for black War Greymon's real skin parts they used a stronger black than it is in contrary with black Agumon's main body color, and therefore the body parts of black Agumon's form, which becoming black War Greymon's armor parts, are then more matte black for black War Greymon's armor parts. And that guess is actually true now, which creates again a small but fine color accent between the rather shiny body parts of black War Greymon and his matte black armor parts, which looks quite good, and I also already judged it this way in my update video. The instructions got actually less quality again. Yes, for black Agumon, black War Greymon, as you can see, it is the same quality as that of the normal Agumon, War Greymon and Gabumon, Metal Garurumon instruction sheets, and is therefore only made of very simple black and white printed paper. This is actually the instructions of the normal figure with the small necessary adjustments and changes for Black Agumon, Black War Greymon, since Bandai Tamashii of course did not consider it to be necessary to make a more qualitative instruction sheet for Black War Greymon with the now usual printed photo paper style for their repaint in order to save further costs. I mean, you can live with it, but when I first opened it, I thought to myself, no way! Are you serious, people? Really no photo paper and the old instructions from the normal with the necessary changes? I mean, they were able to create and sell a completely new figure with the least possible effort, and that for a special Tamashii Collector's Web exclusive figure which they don't sell for less money due to the lower production effort. So seeing that in relation is a bit weak, I think. Even if you look at the price development for this repaint Chou-Shinka-Tamashii figure to being a Tamashii Web Collector's exclusive figure, and for that reason a new printed photo paper instruction sheet should have been there, I think. But well, they know how to save money. And let's leave it that way and let me continue with the program. Bandai Tamashii officially wrote to the Digivolving point, finally, as the 8th step, Black War Greymon appears, who faced War Greymon in Adventure 02 and who left a brilliant impression. With the same appearance as War Greymon 1, while reproducing the distinctive color of Black War Greymon that contrasts with War Greymon, and War Greymon contrasting it with his contrasting dark color. The transformation method is the same as by Agumon War Greymon, but the result is quite different because it becomes black before and after evolution. In my update video I already said that the whole thing is not as impressive here as it was or is with the normal Agumon War Greymon and how they tried to sell it to us in the promotion text as I felt at that time. And I actually stick with this opinion because Black Agumon to Black War Greymon makes not really a body color change because black stays black here, and on the other hand with the normal one they had to get from Agumon's yellow-orange skin color to a completely orange skin color for War Greymon's form. However, that was and is very impressive with these two colored feet and the ingenious folding system and the turning of the claws for the respective Evo form. With Black Agumon, Black War Greymon on the other hand, there was actually no need to fold the feet and turn the claws around because black remains here for both Evo forms. But I actually tend to think that it seems and looks like that despite both foot halves are black, one foot half for Black Agumon's form actually looks more that it would have been molded out of matte plastic, and the other foot half for Black War Greymon actually more looks as if it got molded from a more shiny black plastic under certain lightning conditions. In order to reflect Black Agumon's rather matte black skin color tone of the figure with the one more matte black foot half, and to reflect Black War Greymon's rather shiny black skin color tone of the figure with the other glossy black foot half. Similar to the normal Agumon War Greymon with the double colored feet halves, which are yellow-orange for Agumon and orange for War Greymon's form. This you can especially see on Black Agumon, Black War Greymon's feet in normal daylight. So there would be at least a change in the skin color tone noticeable considering the change from Black Agumon's matte black feet half to Black War Greymon's shiny black feet half. Which is impressive in this regard that they actually had taken into account the small detail for both Evo forms although it will hardly be noticed by most of the people. For that fact I give them a plus point, and of course makes my previously mentioned fact with no need for flipping the feet around and turning the foot claws again invalid. But that's why I would still call this only a pure transformation and would not call it a real body color change by Black Agumon, Black War Greymon, especially not to the extent compared to the normal Agumon War Greymon and with the other figures of the series. And in comparison, the skin color tone change with the feet is still a very small thing on the whole, since the black one is mainly just a repaint of the normal figure version anyway, with the exact same molds and parts. So the whole thing is not impressive at all, at least from this point of view, in comparison to other figures of the series and how Bandai Tamashii tried to sell it to us in this promotion text. But what about the coloring of Black War Greymon's Evo form in general? So there you can justifiably say that is not only of very high quality, and that is on Figure Arts paint shop quality level, and that in addition of choosing the right colors and color tones for the different body and armor parts, Bandai Tamashii made a huge effort to ensure that those color tones of those single body and armor parts of Black War Greymon are different from those of the normal War Greymon. And that is absolutely super great, because it applies to actually all of the details of the two twin brothers. The kinda iron color of the die-cast parts for the chest and torso armor, the helmet, front shield and shin armoring is a darker one than that of War Greymon, where it is a more lighter metallic silver grey, and here on black it is a more of a nice dark metallic grey, or should I call it kinda more gunmetal grey, which color they also adapted for the non-die-cast parts, which also have this color. That brings an immense difference between the two. The darker grey also matches very well with Black War Greymon's general dark coloring. As I said before, the foot claws and hand claws of Black Agumon's form, which now becoming War Greymon's upper blade details on his Drummond killer blades, are molded out of this darker grey plastic, which brings another nice color difference between Black War Greymon and War Greymon. And of course this counts for the foot claws as well. Then we have the straps and brackets of the Drummond killers, which are molded out of brown plastic for Black War Greymon, and of course those are rather black on the normal War Greymon. Not only is there another difference between the two in that, which is also great again, but it is also nice that these details are brown on Black War Greymon, because if they were black, they would simply not be noticed on the rest of the black forearm, which fact is just great that they did it that way. And even the buckles of these straps got colored with this darker grey on Black War Greymon to match the rest, which are also colored rather metallic silver grey on the normal one. Super cool, isn't it? The lower jaw, throat armor, this upper section between the neck and chest armor, the belt and its lower additional armor components are molded from black materials for Black War Greymon, which on the normal War Greymon have this rather dark blue color, which creates another difference in coloration between the two. This also applies to the coloring of these three details on each side of his torso armor. Otherwise, the coloring for the rest is of course the same in the base, and in the style of how it was done on War Greymon, only that for War Greymon, of course, they colored those with the corresponding other colors and color tones according to his original character design. So on Black War Greymon we have the same chrome color style for those parts, which are chrome red on the normal one. On Black War Greymon it is of course this very nice looking chrome yellow for those details on the side horns, the chest and torso armoring, the stripes on the spikes of each shoulder armor, as well as the front shield and the shin armoring, and those other details of it. What is also really nice is that they use two different yellow colors more for the hair and the eye design, and that's really high creditable on Bandai Tamashii, I think. And that they don't have used the chrome yellow right for the hair and eyes either is, as it was sometimes the case with older figures, is really nice, especially for the eyes. That would have been so terrible unfitting, but respect to Bandai Tamashii and for the effort. For the plates of the Dramon killers, of course, they also used the silver chrome plastic, which I personally didn't find quite so nice for the normal version already, and also for the 2D Orcs War Greymon, since the plates should actually more black or anthracite colored, considering the original character design. Nevertheless, these bright silver chrome plates seem to look kinda different on Black War Greymon and add another color accent to the overall dark color design. But this chrome plastic reminds me so much of fake or knock-off figures, also in regard to Digimon figures, because such knock-off figures are usually molded entirely from such chrome colored parts, though that they look like something special, but they are actually not, and only should distract from that they are being cheap KO figures. So I'm talking about real cheap fakes where it is very obvious. In this respect, of course, the chrome plates of both look better processed and look much better in terms of quality, and that is in contrary with such knockoffs. So much for the color design on my part. Bandai officially wrote the following about the materials. In the Super Evolution Spirit series we also picture a sense of texture when it taken in hands. In addition to through color adjustment, the body part, which is primarily reproduced with the molding color, creates feeling of texture through grain processing. Yes, that's exactly how the text in the update was formulated. Until today I don't really know what they really wanted to express with the term grain processing, like I already mentioned in my update video, but let's just leave it that way. Furthermore, they wrote, like by War Greymon, die casting is used for the chest, waist and foot armor parts. It is a dull silver color different from War Greymon and complements the whole color tone. Well, dull silver color, I mean, for me it is rather not dull, and as I mentioned before, a kind of dark grey or dark silver gunmetal grey, which actually has a touch of metallic to me, instead of looking dull. The Dramon killer weapon is bladed for both hands like on War Greymon, but makes it feeling sharper with the contrast with the black color of the whole body. Yes, something like this or so I said before. In my update video I already said that it was of course obvious with the diecast parts due to War Greymon's diecast parts, and that they would of course not do anything different for the repaint was and is logical too. So here on Black War Greymon, also the upper part of the helmet, the complete front part of the torso, the front shield and the shin armoring is made of diecast. Strangely enough, they wrote again that the hip ports should be also die-casted, as it was the case with Greymon spelled back then. Though again, these ports are made of plastic and not of die-cast. Of course, the thighs and ankle ball joints are also die-casted on Black Greymon. That with the contrast colors of Black Greymon to Greymon's colors, they had highlighted themselves also here, and I already said in my update video that is very positive on one hand that they colored the repaint this way, but on the other hand, of course, it was and is also a must that they did it for the repaint, because it is just a repaint. So something like that was also just necessary. But I have honestly to say now that it would be to this extent, and everything has been taken into account in such great detail to achieve the maximum possible contrast with Black Greymon compared to the normal Greymon. This is just absolutely high class. Therefore, Black Greymon is a really awesome and very good repaint with this nice color design, and can only get a full number of points for this. He just looks great and knows how to convince. And with this awesome coloring, I think he can step out of the shadow. I am just the repaint of the normal Greymon. Similar things can often be read in forums and comments, as I said, that despite the fact that he is only a repaint of the normal version, somehow it is still an own other super cool figure, and I think this fact speaking for itself and for Black, right? And he also has another positive feature, because he actually inherits less color kibble from Black Agumon's form than in contrary the normal Greymon's form inherits from Agumon's form. It may be due to the fact that the black one does not have to change his body color probably, whatever or not, but on Black Greymon the lower leg sections, the foot transformation ankle joints and the two halves of the foot are completely black, which are molded from yellow-orange plastic on the normal Greymon due to Agumon's form. You may can see it as you like, but the fact is that Black Greymon inherits less color kibble from Black Agumon's form and can therefore be completely black, as it is the case with Black Agumon's form with the arms of Black Greymon. This gives both forms an advantage. All that remains on Black Greymon as the main striking Black Agumon kibble is the huge force sticking out to the backpack and Black Agumon's splitted head halves as his wing shield, which he inherits from the normal Greymon mold, because Black is just a repaint. So if they would had considered such an extra attachable accurate brave shield for the normal one for the critical fans, repaint Black would also have been benefited through this, and even more due less color kibble. But folks, let's not do that again. I already discussed this topic to death in my video about the normal Greymon. And that also applies to the entire articulation of Black Greymon, which is of course identical to that of Greymon, so I will not mention all of this here again, as I did this detailed in Greymon's review video. Just so much that the joints are nicely firm and tight on Black Greymon as well they are on Greymon. And if you want to know it exactly, so just watch the review video about Agumon Greymon if you missed it. As you may have seen already now, I actually managed to put Black Greymon and Greymon on such a Tamashii stage for some flying poses. Though I said in the first video that through the high weight due to the diecast ports, it is not possible with these figures to do, but I really wanted to recreate this official product image of Bandai Tamashii with Black War Greymon because it just looked so cool. And yes, see my people, it actually worked. You just have to really want it to work. But that with the flying poses is still difficult, nothing for eternity, and should only serve for a snapshot and for a photo shoot to get some more unique poses with your own figures if you want to do, because the whole thing is just still very shaky. On the whole, I don't really know if I should give a clear buy recommendation for this figure or not, because Black Agumon Black War Greymon is just a repaint figure for the normal version. However, as I said, a very good repaint, and that's why I tend to say yes, get him, people. Personally, I think he is really awesome because they put a lot of effort into the coloring to distinguish Black War Greymon's form from the normal one, so I think the figure is just great. And I personally not regretted my delayed purchase in no way, and I'm glad that I decided to buy him, also considering the today prices they offer for him. In addition, I don't have either the old transformable Black War Greymon figure nor the normal War Greymon version of it, and due to today's prices, I will probably no longer buy these old versions, due to there are those new ones. Back then I somehow missed this D-Arts Black War Greymon figure, but circa 10 years ago I got my hands on the Japanese D-Ray Black War Greymon action figure, where I even think that the chosen colors to be better than some of those of the later released D-Arts Black War Greymon figure, which is already quite overpriced nowadays. And that's why I thought, oh come on, let's get at least the new transformable one. And as I said, he knows how to inspire, and in his own way, even tough, he's just a repaint. By the way, what I would like to mention too is that I did not painted my old Agumon and Digivolving Greymon, Metal Greymon, black or blue for the pictures of the Evo scene, but the pictures were photoshopped with a program. I would also like to emphasize that I didn't done it myself, but my good WhatsApp friend helped me with it, or better said, she did it completely for me. By the way, it is the same person who always did the translations of the Japanese on the boxes for me and you. At this point I would like to thank her again for the translations, but above all for photoshopping my pictures. So thank you so much for this immense effort and sacrificed free time. Because the pictures for the Evo scene are on a completely different and new level through this than I would have been able to do it otherwise for the Evo for black. I hope you like it too, like I did. So I think we are almost through and coming to the box for one last time. Bandai Tamashii's official statement about this point was something like this. It was officially announced and highlighted that Black War Greymon will become, for the first time in the Super Evolution Soul series, a Tamashii webshop exclusive sales item. And that the box will be illustrated by Kenji Watanabe again, and that he will design drawings for it again. And he had seriously considered designing it as a design to pair it with War Greymon's once box illustration. Should mean that you can see what you can see here, and if you want, you can place both boxes side by side so that both illustrated War Greymon can face each other as opponents as in the anime, and that's a nice little gimmick and looking really cool, I think. Therefore, the box of the 8th figure release is again a blind box and has as its cover the set illustrations of Black Agumon and Black War Greymon. The box is again matte. This time this box is mainly matte black, only the illustrations are printed shiny again. Always you have the die-cast evolution logo in that shiny chrome silver on the left top again. Then you have the figure title, this time in a new kinda glossy neon yellow on a matte grey background. Digivolving-Spirits, including a little larger in Japanese, the Japanese name, Chou-Shinka-Tamashii, Digimon Adventure 02, Black Agumon, Black War Greymon 08 for the 8th release. Below those very small Japanese writings, which has been translated into English again, which says designed by Tamashii Nations in Japan. Again below Bandai Spirits 2019, made in China to the right, illustrated by Kenji Watanabe. And in the lower right corner we have the Digimon Adventure 02 logo, including Digimon Adventure's 20th anniversary logo, again including the Bandai Tamashii Nations logos, where the Bandai logo has the special white and blue coloring once again. On the left we have this additionally shimmering hologram seal sticker from Tamashii Nations, which shows Tamashii Nations quality. The lid is, as you can see, only matte black, and in the middle in neon yellow glossy again the title of the figure series is printed. And to the left and right of it in dark grey glossy print the silhouettes of the figures of Black Agumon, Black War Greymon. As you can see, the pose of Black War Greymon's silhouette is even different than that on War Greymon's box. The Agumon silhouettes have the same poses on both boxes. As you can see, the left side shows a product image of Black Agumon's form, and above it again the neon yellow glossy title. Above there is this X symbol as a crest symbol. Okay, I didn't got behind the meaning, and actually only by a posting in a forum where one person wrote that the symbol is based on the typical design of War Greymon's details on his chest armor. Yes, and from then on it fell like scales from my eyes. Well, yes, very good idea what the box designers came up with, and I think it fits very well. On the right side we have a product image of Black War Greymon's form. Below it again the shiny neon yellow title without any symbols. The matte black shows as usual the great image from the promotion side with all kinds of inscriptions and explanations in Japanese, which I cannot read. The die-cast ports as well as the plated ports are advertised. On the left top again the glossy printed title in the shiny neon yellow, Digimon Adventure 02, 08, Black Agumon, Black War Greymon. On the right opposite in a similar color the matte printed title again, including below the printed die-cast evolution logo. To the left of Black War Greymon again, as usual, the ports from the promotion texts in Japanese and in English, and a few English warnings on the left below. And on the right opposite this time, sadly no promotion image for the next planned figure release, to which topic I will come back again at next soon, as I promised at the beginning of this assessment. On the bottom side the warnings and notes again in Japanese, and again here partly in English with the informations about Bandai Spirits and the support address. The printed Toei seal, and again on the right in the shiny neon yellow the title. As usually hidden on the lid flap this little anecdote. There is something else written than on the box flap of the normal War Greymon, also nothing with Black Shinka, but this time they just printed Black War Greymon's attack technique there, which simply says Gaia Force. Should actually be called Black Gaia Force or Dark Gaia Force or something like this, I think, but I asked my WhatsApp friend again and she said it just says exactly only Gaia Force. On the left side flap by Black War Greymon, and this clever invented symbol is written again as much as you should cut out the crest symbol because of this campaign where proof of purchase of the figure is needed, and a cut it out symbol is then the proof of purchase. On the right side flap this time Black Agumon asks us to fill out the survey, including the Tamashii web logo and the web address. So, we are almost done with Black Agumon's, Black War Greymon's review, and actually with all reviews of these so far released figures of this Chou-Shinka-Tamashii series. But I cannot let you go until I have not fulfilled my promise and have said something about the future of the Chou-Shinka-Tamashii series or Digivolving-Spirits-Series figures. And one thing ahead, please don't expect this much from me, because I don't knowing more about it than you can find on the net, and you actually find nothing but rumors. For me, as an enthusiast about this whole topic, and for everyone else who feels like me, in this case, it is an emotional thing with mixed feelings, because you don't know what and how to think about it. The fact is that on Black War Greymon's box the advertisement for the next planned release is sadly missing, which I found very frightening when I saw the back of the box for the first time, and I immediately thought, oh crap, that definitely doesn't mean anything good. Strangely enough, they already showed the rather finished prototype of Garudamon and Piyomon in one of these live streams, even in both forms. I already showed these pictures in one of my last update videos. It wasn't the final paint job, but it looked pretty much like the final stage at that time already. And then the real positive surprise a short time later, because at Anime Japan in March 2019, there was this new Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series Digimon figure display where they actually showed the now finished prototype of Piyomon and Garudamon, even like the others, in both forms. I actually wanted to make a short update video about that back then, but I also thought again, oh come on, it would not really worth it, and so I prefer to wait for the official new update on the promotion page to be able to present you such a usual full update video about it. Sadly, this never happened until today, and I waited in vain for it. And that's been about more than a year since I wrote this text for this assessment here. And I'm talking about 2019, where the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic was not an issue at that time. And nothing happened in this regard, which is more than strange. Back then I had great hope again because of the announcement of the planning of the new Digimon adventure Last Evolution Kizuna movie. Therefore I thought, okay, this is the reason for this planned break until we will see the still 3 missing other promised and maybe a few more other Digivolving-Spirits figures surprises. Because I thought they wanted to take the new hype from the movie and use it to sell more. Well, this hope has been buried for months now, since the movie has been in the Japanese cinemas for a long time now. I also had a similar hope because of the announcement of the planning of the new Digimon Adventure 01 anime back then, so I had the same thoughts again, but I think that hope also died because they aired already some episodes of it in Japan. Well, now you can see it like this. If something else was planned, the COVID-19 pandemic could be seen for a reason for the delay of planning, development and releases. Yes, but as I said, Bandai Tamashii has never announced anything official as far as I know that it channeled this still young series or not, but that nothing has been released so far and before the COVID-19 pandemic is more than strange, even tough. They shot out their bullets very fast of the entire amount of 8 figures over the past few years. Though they officially showed Piyomon, Garudamon, and this figure, in my opinion, would be ready for mass production, and there would also be this Gilmon Dukemon as well. So why did they produce these finished looking prototypes of them then? And the break must have been obviously already planned before they printed Black War Greymon's box, because there is no promotion for the next figure on it. Now, it is not unusual for Bandai that they generally show figures at such toy fairs that are only showed there but getting officially released much later or never. But to do that for transformable figures and to spend the effort and cost for conception and development is rather incomprehensible to me. Then in contrary, it might be more understandable with such Dragon Ball figures that are only produced and shown for the fair displays but never get released, because I would simply estimate the production effort for them much less than in contrary this of such a transformable Digimon figure, since the Dragon Ball figures have always the same body molds in general. But since no new Digimon got released so far, there are many rumors on the internet that the Digivolving-Spirits-Series got quietly cancelled by Bandai Tamashii, and that some people take that as the reason for it is just logical. According to comments, it would not be the first time, and Bandai done it before, and they say that they also be known for doing so to cancel series quickly if a figure series did not sell as they had expected. But after this huge promotion and effort that they did for the Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series, it is actually kinda unbelievable on the other hand, I think. And above all, if it's the case, so why they can't even officially announce it on the Digivolving-Spirits promotion page, that we finally know what's going on, or what's the reason for this long break. I think that's really bad and not nice of them. And if they had cancelled the series, they could at least make it officially, right? I mean, it was the same with the Figure Arts Digimon figure series. Never, as far as I know, has there ever been an official announcement that the series has been cancelled or not. There were simply no new prototype figures, etc. showing up, and it is still unclear until today what happened to the series. Well, this figure series lived on in the Chou-Shinka-Tamashii-Series because these are actually transformable figure arts figures, but until they announced that, there was also silence in the forest before. If you're asking me what I think about it now, well, actually I still have hope. Excuse me please. I still have hope that they have not yet buried the Digivolving-Spirits-Series alive, but the hope is no longer as big as it was before, because of Last Evolution Kizuna movie and the anime reboot got launched, and so this hope died before the COVID-19 pandemic, with every passing day with no new announcements, always a little more. But well, let's not give up our hopes. We actually learned that from the Digimon anime, didn't we? So let's all light up our crests of hope and believe that Bandai Tamashii will eventually continue with the Chou-Shinka-Tamashii figure series someday in the future. And now we have arrived at the end of the review about Black, the additional informations and the review videos about this figure series so far. I hope that you enjoyed my detailed videos about each single figure of the series. I wanted to do it for you this way because, as I said at the beginning, many YouTubers only did very short reviews about them and without any background knowledge, which did nothing could do justice to these figures at all. I did my reviews from the perspective of a critical adult collector who has been a Digimon fan from the first hour since the first episode was aired in the German free TV, and how I personally think such reviews should be done, and not like almost done it for clicks about a review of a figure without having any personal connection and knowledge to it. I finally wanted to and had to do something bigger because I already presented you those very detailed update videos about each of the official new announcements back then. So many thanks to all of you who have been with me from the beginning and the first review video about this figure series until now. I would be happy to say that in the next video I will present you the next release of this figure series, but sadly that's not possible, you know. 08 Black Agumon Black War Greymon was sadly the last figure they released so far. But heads up people, for the next video I have a somewhat and kinda unusual, unofficial Digimon figure to review you, and it will be a figure from a Chinese design studio, namely this Lightramon, or for us Raydramon here. If you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up, and if you like what I do in my channel, you can also subscribe to it. I would be very happy about this. So see you next time, your Mega 88 1000.